Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between Hawk and Happy. This game taking place here on Northern Isle. On the bottom left hand side of Northern Isle we have Happy spawning as, well, nope, my colors are wrong, the red undead. Meanwhile Hawk yellow human. Do you watch some UEFA Euro 2021 quota? No, no. I, I generally watch highlight reels. I don't actually have time to sit down and keep track of any leagues, unfortunately. But I do I watch all of those YouTube videos showing improbable goals and great teamwork and great passing. I do enjoy watching those from occasionally in a little bit of downtime. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here in this matchup. Happy spawning as the red undead on the bottom left-hand side of the map. We are looking at you know what? Give me one moment. All right. Always those concerns. Wait, I don't hear my kids up yet. And they have school, and they need to leave for school in about an hour. Anyways, Archmage coming online here. Happy pretty much open with a very, very tried and true strategy here. Not going to go crazy. Yes, the football soccer where everyone has... I don't know. Yeah. Flopping. Uh, see, I will say this. I know how fast those guys are running, and I understand that, like, all at that speed, a gentle nudge could cause someone to tip over and fall. But yeah, it's pretty like hey, what's going on here, right? I like it in sportsmanship um, when like so, I've seen it in a couple of football games where like a yellow card is pulled and the guy's like argues like, hey, I didn't touch him, and then the other guy's like, no, he really didn't touch me, I tripped, right? And then the ref's like, oh, okay. Like I appreciate that level of sportsmanship, right? Like, come on, keep the game pure, right? And reward that. Like, do you really want your games to be decided by the refs that much? And that's ultimately what I think that's ultimately why a lot, like, Americans in general don't like soccer or football. They don't like the games being decided by the ref. You want the game to be decided by the ball, right? And I think at the heart, everyone wants the game to be decided by the ball. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here. Oh wow, Hawk Happy denying his own acolyte. Hawk trying to do the same exact thing. And, well, Hawk just bringing that peasant closer to death for a single slice from that skeletal warrior. Death Knight coming back across, getting in another death coil, and there's a deny right there. Archmage shooing away the Death Knight. Death Knight doesn't have that much experience as the Archmage is already sitting at level 2. All right, coming back across here. Oh, Death Knight down to 67, down to 46. Archmage doesn't have Claws of Attack. Yeah, American sports are decided by refs, but sometimes, but the community really gets upset about it, right? Like, it is a travesty. Like, it's all that is talked about the following day, right? Like refs not, right? It happens. It happens, right? But I don't know. Flopping. Flop. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna make my European player or viewers mad. Is flopping part of the game, and is that a part of the game that you enjoy? Right? Like, that's just like it's part of the game. Like, oh, Anyways, going to go ahead and break free here. Footman going to go ahead and engage a fast-paced sports if to see if it's recognized as sports. All right, Death Coil going to save here. Happy trying to put in pressure. One peasant going to get taken down, unable to get inside that gold mine as there's still a little bit of mining going on here. Footman trying to engage against the skeletal minions. One more peasant about to get taken down. He's trying to back away and actually create a little bit of separation as the ghoul ghoul is not going to go after that peasant any longer. Skeletal minion's going to get taken down, and well, Death Coil going to take down a unit there as a ghoul does get, well, taken out as well. Crypt Fiend trying to find some more targets here. And let's focus back over on to the game between the Archmage, the human, and the undead player. All right, Archmage coming back across here. Death Knight looking to retreat back once more down to 85 hit points. Archmage going to drop some Water Elementals, clear out some Murloc creep camps, and attempt to get to level 3. Meanwhile, Happy doing what his tried and signature maneuver, quick tech to tier 3, training up a Lich, will be getting up a slaughterhouse here in just a moment. And this is always just one of those things that you look at from Happy sometimes. You look at Happy's base and you're like, how can, if you were to attack him right now, like, why wouldn't you be able to win? He doesn't have that large of an army. He doesn't have that much going for him. But still, somehow Happy and Undead with their home field advantage and the quick reinforcements and the sudden appearance of the Lich, it would probably be the icing on the cake. The reason why you don't want to attack the Undead at this point. A quick Death Coil Frost Nova combination followed up a couple of times would be causing some problems. Archmage wanting to pick up that Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3 and now up to 600 hit points as we're looking at an army of 19 going up against an army of 23. Lich out onto the battlefield here. There is that slaughterhouse. Archmage just wandering around trying to look inside this base here as the Archmage could be putting pressure onto that Death Knight. Hasn't done exactly that. And now Footman will have to, trying to escape away. Lich sees a gift-wrapped present there as damage adding up onto the Death Knight here. Footman about to get taken down. Beautiful denial by Hawk, timing that attack nearly perfectly as the Archmage now makes its way back off to the top right. All right, who's going to win here? Tech advantage versus economic advantage. Hawk building up a stronger economy, but is not going to have the tech that Happy is going to bring. With that said, the money advantage normally translates into a tech advantage and army advantage later. And this is the situation where Happy knows that he has the tech advantage and wants to capitalize on it. He knows that his units are going to be slightly more powerful. Orb of Corruption coupled with Crypt Fiend's very, very high damage indeed. All of a sudden, that Water Elemental taking 17% bonus damage from everything because of negative armor. Thank you, Chris or Berlin, for the follow. Archmage now coming back around. Frost Nova, Death Coil taking quite a bit of damage, now trying to back away down to 300 hit points, being able to retreat back once more as the Death Knight now leading the charge. Only a level 2 Death Knight and only a level 1 Lich, but forcing Hawk inside his base. We've seen a lot of human players now transition into riflemen and knights. That seems to be a very popular strategy, and then getting one workshop as well. So dual racks, one workshop for flying machine, knights, and riflemen as it quickly goes to tech to tier 3, perhaps getting a Mountain King and following up with a Paladin. 1,000 people raid. Thank you for the raid. I don't know why raids don't show up, but hello, Peanut Butter Pan. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the raid. Absolutely a blast. Hope you guys stick around and enjoy this matchup between Hawk and Happy. A player's forces are under attack. Death Knight, Lich, dual Obsidian statues. Crypt Fiend's Ghoul is going to go ahead and try and clear out this creep camp. And at this stage, Happy is going to be looking to just get up to 50 supply. He doesn't want to really expand. And Happy's real main strategy lately has been trying to be very, very tight with a 50 supply army. 2 base human going up against a 1 base undead. But Happy seems to make it work extremely well. No, I take it back. Happy going for an expansion, something I haven't seen Happy do in some recent games. And with this game may be going longer. So far, we're looking at the Archmage, Mountain King, Footman, looking to try and do a little bit of creeping. But however, the Archmage has to deal with the Death Knight and the Lich and the staying power of these Obsidian statues. These Obsidian statues will give a better longevity to try and creep. Meanwhile, the Death Knight trying to keep the Archmage and those other units at bay, as we should be looking at a level 3 Death Knight and a soon to be level 3 Lich here. All right, a lot of creep camps on the middle of the map, ready to go. So what, third? Thank you for the follow still. And yeah, well, I don't know. What does it take to build a hype train, and what does it even really look like? As the Destroyer now going to be coming back across here, going after some of those units. There's some Devour Magic eating up that delicious Frost Armor, giving bonus damage to the Destroyer and recovering those hit points. All right, coming back around, a Death Knight has a Moonstone. Lich very close to level 3 as well. And this is where things are going to get interesting. We've seen what Undead and Happy can do with Undead on one base. What can he do with two bases here on Northern Isle, as Hawk is unsure of on how to follow this up. Thank you for the follow. Hype Train needs to be either gifts, subs, or bits, I think, not follows. Oh, all right. Well, it's all right. I think I've gotten a hype train once or twice. Anyways, coming back around, Mountain King finishing off Wand of Illusion there. Mountain King picking up a Wand of Illusion. However, that's always a little bit dangerous against the Destroyer, who could randomly eat those illusions and then just deal more damage to those poor footmen. In comes the fight now. Happy should be able to really just deal some damage here, finishing off some units, taking down a footman, and not racking it up the damage here. Lich looking to finish off some more units here as the ghouls are getting in front. Stormbolt onto the Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend does have Orb of Fire on it, so it's not going to heal up fully as much as the flying machines putting pressure onto the Destroyer. We're looking at 51 supply compared to 58. Happy sitting at 51 supply for a much longer time than I thought he would, as the Death Knight now tries to back away here. A strategically placed sentry ward to keep track of where the human army is and whether or not they can clear out this red creep camp. Death Coil onto the Destroyer, trying to keep it alive and well, as this red creep camp will fall. Death Knight will get to level 4. Lich will perhaps stay at level 3, as we are going to get the Endurance Aura, that big item bonus right there. All right, trying to finish off the remainder of the creep camp. Death Knight gets the 4 here, trying to scroll of Town Portal away. Lich could be in trouble. Lich gets taken down. Well, Stormbolt, Thunderclap, as the level 3 Lich falls here. A big win, as, well, a little bit of a greedy maneuver by Happy makes him pay the price.
The town is under siege.
Coming back, well, I'm default settings on my hype train, so haven't really done much there. Meanwhile, Griffins looking to finish off the Tuskar Warriors, Tuskar Trappers, and, well, finish things off here. Mountain King, well, Mountain King Paladin. I think this is the reason why Back to Warcraft doesn't interact with the chat, right? Like, at some point, when you start getting, like, over 500 users, trying to interact with chat while casting a game is just nearly impossible. Archmage fighting up here. Thunderclap coming back across. Lich was resurrected. Orb of Fire making things difficult, and Happy is going to get the Death Coil off in time. Lich now gets up to level 4, and we should be looking at Dark Ritual as well. Frost Armor still causing a little bit of problems. I don't see any Knights here out onto the battlefield, and it's still 61 supply compared to 54, but where is the army of Hawk? Looking at the army, we are seeing Griffins taking to the skies, and I was not expecting Griffins. Instead of going for the Rifleman Knights flying machines, which has been typical of human players recently, we are seeing flying machines Griffins here. So I guess one way to try and shut down the Crypt Fiends and their web is to just give them too many targets to web down while they are on cooldown, or force your opponent to try and do something else with them. All right, a Thunderclap coming back across, adding in that damage. We're still looking at Flying Machines getting shot down here. Crypt Fiend joining up on the battle. Death Coil saves that Crypt Fiend there, but it a partial heal as we do see Orb of Fire. All right, only 3 units coming in across from Hawk here, and Hawk is just trying to finish off some of those units. There's a Dark Ritual once more, but one Crypt Fiend does end up getting taken down. All right, 65 supply compared to 55 units. Not that many in training. Where are the units of Hawk? Hawk sitting on 3 3 Griffins, 1 Knight, 3 Heroes, nothing, and 1 additional Griffin off over here. Meanwhile, Happy's army is a little bit wider with 2 Destroyers now, and we should be looking at more units joining in here in just a moment. Hawk with a large amount of lumber needs to get a little bit more. Well, is that too many workers? Yeah. All right, so Hawk has 25 workers, and that's just simply too much at this point in the stage in the game. He's sitting on about 1,800 lumber and growing when he really needs to save some of his supply for units out on the battlefield. Coming back down to the south here. Ghouls now making their way over. Griffin's going to try and engage. Destroyer's going to easily devour magic flying machines, unable to put pressure back onto the Destroyers again as, well, Ogre Maulers and Ogre Warriors in a fight. Death Knight of Happy really wanting to put pressure, trying to, punish the greediness of Hawk, but hasn't been able to do that with that much damage yet. Destroyers, Banshees now coming back across as it looks like some peasants will get taken down. Griffin's looking to engage once more. Anti-magic shell on Happy, and that's going to really shut down the Griffin play once again. There's still more engagement, more attacking, getting underway. Stormbolt, not possible on those Destroyers, obviously. And the Archmage, his Water Elementals are just feeding the hit points and the bonus mana onto these units. All right, going to go ahead and engage again once more. Well, Ghouls getting absolutely burst by the Griffin Riders. All it takes is one attack, one timely attack, as the flying machines are now going after the Destroyers. Destroyers, however, not focusing down on, or the flying machines not focusing down on the low hit point units, as we're looking at the Griffins looking to try and take down some of those obsidian statues, but they quickly transform into Destroyers, making them suddenly magic immune from those Griffin Rider, from that Griffin Rider damage. Good morning, good morning. Coming back around. Mountain King, Paladin, Archmage chasing back the other way. 3-3-2. There should be a sudden power spike in the leveling up of the Archmage, getting more mana. Are we going to see that right there? Griffin low on hit points. Archmage gets up to level 4. Orb of Fire trying to add in more damage. There goes another Crypt Fiend as well, as the Flying Machine's going after the Destroyers now. All right, level 2 on the Paladin. Suddenly, what was a 5-4 Undead going up against a 3-3-2 is now going up against a 4-4-2, and that Paladin is nearly at level 3 as well. Okay, come back down to the south. There is a Magnetar Reaver being left behind. Flying Machines trying to challenge those Destroyers. Water Elemental trying to tank some of that damage. And here we are getting ready to go in a battle. Flying Machines getting here as Frost Nova slows down many of those Griffins once again. All right, Magnetar Reaver going after those Water Elementals. We're going to see some storm, or, well, bolts, ice bolts onto that Archmage there, as more damage still adding up. Are we perhaps going to get another Water Elemental? No, leaving behind a Knight purposely to try and take down that Reaver as a Stormbolt lands on that Death Knight. Death Knight sitting at level 5, getting a couple of webs onto some of those trailing units. Death Knight now trying to retreat away. Flying Machines, are they going to get, well, saved here? They're just going to get picked off, and this war of attrition is just so deadly, and all Hawk wants to do is just try and mine out or finish off this one particular creep camp. Meanwhile, peasants are making sure that there is nothing going on the top left-hand side of the map. No hidden expansion, as we are seeing the Magnetar Reaver finally getting shut down. Level 3 on that Paladin here. We are looking at Unholy Aura, faster movement speed for that Mountain King, and all of these units trying to close in on that distance again as the Flying Machines will fly away. Knights, will they be able to chase down the targets? No, they are not. Simply far too fast. All right, coming back through. Ghouls now shooing away some of those peasants here. Flying Machine's going to try and engage, and Hawk feeling confident enough to try and do a fight over here on Blight. Griffins, Flying Machines in the back here, plenty of Crypt Fiends, but the web has, well, found many of the Flying Machines and is not taking down those Griffin Riders. Thunderclap coming back across, Anti-Magic Shell adding in a bit of additional hit points, but this battle is in Hawk's way. Happy down to 46 supply compared to 75, as the units are still trying to retreat back, and another, well, Griffin or Crypt Fiend almost able to get taken down. It looks as still more battling getting underway, as the Griffins are now a little bit more separated. Death Knight seeing that level 5, Lich seeing that level 4, not that much mana. Death Coil is constantly saving those Crypt Fiends again and again, as level 3 Death Coil doing its work and its job. All right, do we see any Knights out here on the battlefield chasing down Crypt Fiends? We do. and that may be all that is needed, as the Lich does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, getting the Surround Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used, and now trying to go after some of these additional targets. Flying Machines do have the bombs now, ready to start bombarding and be useful, as all of the destroyers are finally taken down. Mountain King down to 65 mana, wanted to Stormbolt the Death Knight, the Lich, but unable to do so. Death Knight was nearby with, well, Death Coil, and also not enough mana on that Mountain King yet. Flying Machine's going to finish off the expansion here, and it looks as though Hawk is going to get taken down by Happy. This, well, mass Flying Machine, mass Crypt Fiend army, supplemented with Knights, actually very interesting. As what Flying Machines only take one supply, and the Crypt Fiends usually have web on autocast. It needs to web down those Griffin Riders, but even for Happy, trying to add in more micro to his battle would just make it that much more difficult. 70 supply compared to 41. It looks as though a Crypt taken down, more webs coming back across. The Flying Machines unfortunately unable to do very much once they are on the ground, even though they do have a ground attack. Their range is pretty much, but it is a melee range. So maybe there should be like melee 250 range, or 150 range, just like Mountain Giants are. That way they can still do something, even when they're webbed back down. That might actually help a little bit of the human versus undead matchup, giving Flying Machines a range of 150, just so that they can like bombard the unit that webbed them down. That might work actually. Anyways, coming back through, Stormbolt onto the Crypt Fiend, however, getting saved back up. 72 supply compared to 45. Happy is in trouble in this matchup, as Hawk is setting up an expansion on the bottom right-hand side of the map as well. Main bases should be nearly out of gold. 64 supply compared to 51 though, as Hawk suddenly loses a large portion of his army, and now it's only a 9 supply difference. Crypt Fiends or Banshees are getting taken down. Flying Machines are also getting destroyed as well. Anti-Magic Shell making things very difficult. And really, I haven't seen that much Staff of Sanctuary being used very heavily. There's another Death Coil onto that Griffin Rider, or sorry, that Crypt Fiend. That Crypt Fiend is just constantly able to stay alive. Finally, the Knight with Sundering Blades able to take down some units. But this is just an uphill battle consistently, as the Frost Armor coupled with the Anti-Magic Shell, making it difficult to take down these Crypt Fiends. 67 supply compared to 48. Happy is mining in no upkeep right now, as some of these units should get taken down here. 47 supply compared to 70, looking for a new battle. However, the human army doesn't look that large. Archmage sitting at level 5, Mountain King sitting at level 4, almost at level 5, needs to finish things off. Death Knight does get to level 6 though, and Death Knight has level 3 Unholy Aura, as another Acolyte gets taken down. Bottom left-hand side of the map, Happy. 1 minute of mining left. Same thing for Hawk there. Expansion over here on the bottom right is mining without any problems as well. Meanwhile, the expansion of Hawk is already mined out, so it is currently 2 bases. So 2 bases, as this Happy expansion is not up and running yet. Coming back over here, Death Knight gonna go ahead and try and shut things down, and is Happy going to do the impossible? He was down by so much earlier, and now is trying to shut down the expansion. If he can shut down the expansion, he has a chance at this game, as Lich does get to level 6. And, well, what does level 6 gonna grab? Is it gonna grab level 2 Dark Ritual or Death and Decay? He hasn't shown anything as of yet. Lich now trying to back away. Lich taking a large amount of damage. Knights trying to go after the Lich. Lich could end up getting taken down. Death Coil saves, as the Archmage continuing the fight here. Anti-Magic Shell finally on that Lich once more, as we're still looking at a fight here. 55 supply compared to 51. And Happy is, well, somehow making it come together, but suddenly now a level 5 Mountain King. All right, still fighting for supremacy here. Mountain King gets a Stormbolt off, going to finish off that one Crypt Fiend, and then is going to be able to finish off any additional units. Mountain King does have a potion of mana, should be able to Stormbolt once more. Is going to try and pick off any particular unit, Stormbolting that Banshee. What ends up getting Dark Ritual once again. So my experience as the Paladin is going to get stronger and stronger. Paladin does have Divine Shield. Staff of Sanctuary saving another unit there, trying to go after that Destroyer, as that Destroyer is just going to devour magic and regenerate some hit points. Once more, the expansion of Happy going to be losing a lot of acolytes. Flying Machine's going to get taken down as the Knights trying to engage again. No more Crypt Fiends nearby as the anti-magic shell, making it extremely difficult for Griffins to do anything new or extra here. Flying Machine's looking to continue to engage. Thank you for the follow. Death Knight now looking to try and retreat back. Archmage, Paladin, Mountain King continuing to push their way through as the Knights are, well, finding the Lich. Death Knight does not have enough mana for a Death Coil. Holy Light trying to save a Knight right there. Or the Frost Nova there. Paladin could be in a little bit of trouble. Does have Divine Shield. And sitting at level 6, Mountain King could try and Stormbolt. Unable to catch up that distance once again. And chasing after that Lich could have been, well, a misplay there. There's a Stormbolt now. Death Knight does have enough mana for a Death Coil here, and with that, 600 hit points instantaneously healed as the Archmage did not have that Orb of Fire debuff on that unit. Continuing the fight once more, Paladin Paladin trying to fight things off. 54 supply compared to 41. Happy when he is behind on supply and is fighting with a smaller army, seems to get more out of his army, and that has just been the case again and again. Lich sitting at level 6 has not trained up a new ability. No, finally getting Death and Decay. And with Death and Decay, perhaps he can try and hit another base up here. All right, Knights able to stop the expansion over here on the top left. Meanwhile, Hawk is still mining over here on the bottom right, and that is going to be key here as Happy is not mining at the southern expansion. So it is 1 base versus 0 now, as things could go from bad to worse for Happy. 32 supply compared to 51. Can Happy hold off and then fight against, or will Hawk be able to continue the pressure and ensure the ensure the victory here? Fly Machines attempting to take down the last of the destroyers. Staff of Sanctuary saving a couple more units as the units are going to turn back around. Fly Machines looking to take down the destroyers here. There's no web, and there's only 2 Flying Machines, and going up against 2 destroyers, that's simply not enough if you are playing 47 supply compared to 31. Show up left, please. No, there's nothing here. Up left was unsummoned. All right, Knight trying to retreat back. Paladin trying to retreat back here. Ooh, beautiful, beautiful dodge of that Death Coil using the Divine Shield in time. Follow-up bash onto that Death Knight. Death Knight follow-up Thunderclap. Damage is adding back up. Archmage, however, not going to get focused down. Flying Machines could easily go after some additional units as we see a Stormbolt go down onto the Lich. Lich could be in trouble. Holy Light followed by a Death Coil. Lich nearly taking down. Flying Machines going after the Destroyers. Hawk, well, Knight, Staff of Sanctuary saved. That was a very low hit point unit once again as after the Destroyer, who is down to 14 hit points. Flying Machines turning back around, taking down another Destroyer instead. Paladin very low on hit points. It gets Staff of Sanctuary back out as well. Mountain King still okay for now. Archmage, Mountain King, trying to push the pressure and the charge here. 1 Destroyer, 2 Obsidian statues, and a couple of Griffins to try and put pressure onto those Obsidian statues here, as we're looking at, well, Happy trying to start mining back up at the expansion on the southern side, but it's still not working. New refreshed Knights joining back out here on the battlefield. Death Knight now down to 230 hit points, going to retreat back away once more. Death Knight with Frost Armor going to make short work here as the Destroyer is going to easily devour magic. Perhaps we just regenerate some hit points, get a little bit more mana, and go for another fight again. Mountain King, Stormbolt perhaps, yes, Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight now down to 133 hit points. Is it going to get taken down finally? Down to 16 hit points. It gets taken down, and that may be the game. Hawk takes this game over Happy. And with that said, look at the resource score in this game. Hawk mining 3,000 more gold than his opponent, and even losing more gold to upkeep. So he had a larger army throughout the match. And still, Happy made this game extremely, extremely close. The final score, only 6,000 different. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something. And thank you for tuning in.